All right, put your head down. See if there's a contraction in your stomach, your chest. All right, open up. It's your body knocking on a door saying, let me go. Okay. So open up. And just allow it to pass through. It doesn't want to leave. Just let it leave. And more. And more. And more. And more. And even more. And more. Think of something that doesn't work for you in your life. You like to change it. You wish it didn't happen. Bring it up. And just let the energy go. You don't need to know what it is. It doesn't matter. It's an it. See it as phenomenon. Just let it go. We're a strange breed of people. When you throw the garbage out at night, you don't open up the garbage pail and roll around it and say, I wonder what it is. You just throw it out. Don't try to figure it out. Just let go of it. It stinks, so let it go. So pull up some more. And just allow it to pass through. If it wants to leave, just let it leave. And more. And more. And more. And more. Think of something else that doesn't work for you. You'd like to change. Could you let go of wanting to change it? Wanting to change it is lacking change, and therefore you're instructing your mind not to change. Want is lack. Could you let go of wanting to change it? Could you let go of that out of control feeling that you're feeling? And more. And more. And more. And more. Anybody ever see a tree bitching? Just sits there. It rains, it's windy. Just watches. Okay, so see if you wanted to control something. That's an out of control feeling. So could you let go of that out of control feeling? And more. And more. And even more. Bring up some more of that out of control. Think of something you feel out of control about. Could you let go of that out of control feeling? And more. And more. And even more. And see if you're still trying to figure something out. Okay. So ask your mind. Ask your best friend if it knows. You know, the one that you listen to all day long. It doesn't know, does it? Okay. So asking something that doesn't know is the biggest waste of time you ever did in your whole life. You might as well have a conversation with the wall. It doesn't know. It's not discriminating to ask something that doesn't know over and over again. It's like jumping into some cement thinking that you're going to swim. Okay, so now see if your friend, your mind, that your best friend, the one you listen to all the time, see if it didn't tell you to beat yourself up because you haven't figured it out. Oh, my buddy. So, does that resolve the situation? Beating yourself up? Beating your body up if it hurts? Isn't that brilliant? I can't figure it out. My body hurts, so I'll beat it up. It certainly is discriminating. That's the way I'll get to fix it. I'll beat it up. And people call me, I say, my back hurts me. Oh, why, you're beating it up? Oh, why don't you hit it with a stick? You hit it with a stick, it'll get better. It could, because it feels nice when you stop. So that's not resolving anything. Would you be willing to let go of figuring it out? And would you be willing to let go of disapproving of yourself? Or your body part? Or your so-called illness? Could you let go of disapproving of it? And more. And more. And even more. It's just a computer program, that's all. You want to listen to a computer program. Okay? And could you give it some approval? That's discriminating. Positive, never heard anything. See if it has. Check in your life. Anything positive, ever heard anything? Where was the hurt? When you were negative, you were hurting. When you're positive, everything was fine. So, could you give yourself some approval? Could you give yourself some more approval? And could you give yourself some more approval? And more. And even more. And even more. Now think of somebody that you're not getting along with, that you have a conflict with. You think, who has a conflict? Your ego has a conflict, and your ego loves it. Because it's getting fed. All right, but think about it. Does it resolve your situation when you disapprove of somebody? Has it been resolving the situation that you're not getting along with somebody? Check. Discriminate. It's not. Okay? So if that's not working and not resolving it, now you better do something else. Keep doing the same thing and wondering why you can't work it out with the other person. Okay, so could you let go of disapproving of them? Since the other thing is not working. You're hurting yourself when you have negativity. Could you let go of disapproving of them some more? And more. And even more. And more. Maybe that person doesn't want to do what you want him to do. Well, what does your mind say? Kill him. That certainly is going to get you in harmony with that person. If you want to kill them, guess what they're going to do? They're going to kill you too. So off you go. Taking the elevator down. So could you let go on to kill them? Wanting control is wanting to kill. Disapproving of them is wanting to kill them. Wanting to get rid of them. Get them off your back. So could you let go of that disapproval? Could you let go of wanting to disapprove of them? And could you let go of disapproving of them? Don't do it for them, do it for you. And more. And more. And more. And even more. Again, positive never hurt anything. So could you give them some approval? It's a smart thing to do. Could you give them some more approval? Could you give them some more approval? Could you give them some more approval? And more. And even more. And more. And could you give them some more approval? And more. And more. And even more. And even more. And more. See if you want to be right in that situation. You want to be right. Now, let's examine what right means. Is that wanting approval? Wanting control, or wanting to be safe? Right. Well, whatever it is for you, could you let go of either one of those feelings? Wanting to be right only is an ego thing. Could you let that go? And more. And more. And more. And even more. You end up cutting your nose off to spite your face being right. So see if you can let that go. The smart thing is get into harmony with the person instead of being right. Or maybe you feel victimized. It's not fair. There's another good mind word. It's not fair. Usually means I didn't get my way, so it's not fair. See if you feel victimized by somebody because they didn't do what you wanted them to do. And you got a whole victim story. So get the picture in your mind, that poor me story, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Person took advantage of me, didn't do what I want him to do, ripped me off. What do you need that story for? The mind will rationalize that why you should hate him so it could be alive. So could you let that picture go? Just allow it to evaporate and dissolve. It's a picture in your mind that eats you up alive. If you want to get that person, you end up getting yourself. There's nobody else out there but you. You and your feelings. You think there's somebody out there. There's nobody. You're getting yourself. So what Lester did is he got rid of all of his non-loving feelings. Not some of them, but all of them. So see if you can let that picture evaporate and dissolve. That reason, that rationale why you should hate. Could you let that evaporate and dissolve? And more. And more. And more. And even more. So could you give that person some approval? Because that really is a smart thing to do. Positive never hurt anything. Could you give him some approval? Could you give him some more approval? And more. And even more. And more. And take a look at their face and see if they're not smiling. Now you're moving in harmony with them. Everybody's looking for love. The ego is looking for hate. So the minute you hate them, then it gives the ego an excuse to fight with you. You send them love and you're in harmony. But think of all those terrorists. What do you think they're doing? They're terrorizing the world. And if you're getting terrorized, you're giving them what they want. If they got positive, they'd be disempowered. So see if you have a fear about them. Doesn't help you. Could you let the fear go? And more. And more. And more. And even more. And more. And even more. And could you let go of disapproving of them? You're aiding and abetting them by disapproving of them. They want you to be negative. You're feeding it with negativity, so they're empowered. Then you let go of disapproving of them. You don't have to agree with what they're doing. Just let go of disapproving of them. And more. And more. It's far better to conquer them with love, which is the most powerful energy in the universe, than with hatred. That's making you weak, making them empowered. So could you give them some approval? And more. And more. And more. Now see how you feel. Check and see. Don't you feel stronger? When you're in fear, you're weakened. When you're in positive, you feel strong. Think of somebody in your life who's your worst enemy, a person that you really don't like. Maybe it's somebody that did something when you were a kid. Walking around with that is a waste of time. So bring it up. That negative energy is weakening you. You got victimized, you did this, so what? You did it. It's your picture. How does it help you to keep that picture? Maybe it gives you a reason to hate. That's wonderful. So could you let that picture, whatever happened to you when you were, somebody put a carrot in your ears and you were 3 years old and you're still pissed off. Could you just let it go? Allow it to evaporate and dissolve. And more. And more. Yes, I know it seemed traumatic at the time, but it's a long time ago. It's time to let it go. How many more years do you want to walk around with it? How many more years do you want to suppress it and hold it down? It takes a lot of energy to hold it down. When all the time it wants to expend itself. What do you think hatred is? Hatred wants to expend itself. It literally wants to express itself. When you're busy holding it down. Now you can do two things. You can explode, or you can let it go. So see if you got a picture of somebody that did something to you and you feel victimized by it. Could you just let it go? You don't need to know why. The way I look at it is they didn't know what they were doing. Why do you want to analyze a crazy action? Somebody is crazy. They're crazy, so don't join them. You fight with them, you get crazier too. So they got you. So could you let go of that picture that you have? Just allow it to evaporate and dissolve. It's just a picture in your head. Maybe somebody ripped you off, took advantage of you. Could you let the picture go? It doesn't help you. How does it help you? Could you let the picture go? And more. And more. And even more. And more. And even more. And more. And more. And more. And even more. And more. Let's see if you have any regrets in your life. A regret. How does that help you? It keeps you in the past. That's you continually wanting to change it. That's what a regret is. So could you let go of that regret? Just let it go. It doesn't help you. And if you keep harping on it, you get another regret because it's negative. You keep harping on that, you get 3 regrets. Keep harping on that, you get 6 regrets. Because that's what you're holding in mind. So could you let it go? And more. And more. And more. See if somebody disappointed you in your life. You had certain expectations from them and they didn't want to do what you wanted them to do. That's a regret. That's a negative, by the way. Could you let that go? And more. And more. And more. See if you're dissatisfied. You're getting older. See if you're dissatisfied about it. How does that help you? Who's doing it, by the way? You are. See if you're disapproving of your body. You're disapproving of it. You can't even look at it. Could you let go of disapproving of it? And more. And more. And more. And could you let go of disapproving of it some more? And more. It's your body. It's your creation. You created it. You created it to look the way it does. Could you let go of disapproving of it? And more. And more. And more. And more. See if you have a judgment about it. About those bones and that meat hanging on something. Could you let go of judging it? And more. And more. And even more. And more. So take a look at somebody you haven't been getting along with and silently say to them, I am you, I am you, I am you. And take a look at somebody else you haven't been getting along with, or you feel did something to you. Say, I am you, I am you, I am you. Take a look at Mr. Bin Laden. Say, I am you. It's your picture. I am you. I am you. And take a look at somebody else in your life that you haven't been able to get along with. And say to them, I am you. I am you. I am you. Are you? Are you? Notice your answer. Are you? I am that I am. Now see if you're disapproving of your friend, your ego, the one that talks to you all the time, that positive part of you. The one that tells you to beat yourself up. It tells you to hate the other person. It gives you reasons why you should hate them. It gives you a yes, but. I like to love them, but. So you become a butthead then when you do that. So could you let go of disapproving of the mind? When you do that, you're feeding it. Could you let go of disapproving of it? And more. And more. And more. And more. And more. Now, believe it or not, it's also looking for love. What have you been doing? Have you fighting with it? You're agitating it. That's what agitation is. An agitated mind. A perturbed mind. So could you give it some approval? Positive, never heard anything. Could you give it some more approval? And more. And more. And even more. And more. If it's making noise right now, say, I love you. I love you. You don't look good this morning. I love you. You got a bad hair day. I love you. You ate too much. I love you. Whatever noise it's saying, just say, I love you. Watch it make noise. Invite it to make noise. It's doing it anyway. So just, I'll be quiet. Just say, I love you. Whatever it's saying, I love you. My neck hurts you. I love you. I love you. I love you. There's something wrong with your body. Say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. See if you've had a feeling of wanting to be separate from something, then wanting to be separate. Think of somebody that you'd like to be separate from in a room. You don't want to really sit next to them. Could you let go wanting to be separate? If you want to be separate, it's an uncomfortable feeling, really uncomfortable. And it separates yourself from the quiet, from the peace that you're looking for. Could you let go of that wanting to be separate? And more. And more. And more. And even more. And more. See how you feel now. See if you feel calmer, quieter. More at one. See how you feel about illnesses or suffering. Are you resisting that? You're resisting illnesses? If you resist it, you're holding it in mind. Because you got to remember not to have it. Isn't that brilliant? You got to remember not to have it. So what are you holding in mind? Having it. So you're planting a seed up there. Could you let go of resisting what it is you're resisting? Whatever it is. Whatever it is that you're resisting, you're holding. Maybe you're afraid to lose your money. Maybe you're afraid of losing a relationship. Or, hey, if you're resisting it, you're holding it in mind and you're waiting for it to happen. So if you can't let go of resisting it, could you let go of wanting it to happen? Could you? And more. And more. Could you let go of wanting it to happen? That very thing that you're afraid of, could you let it go of wanting it to happen? Maybe you're afraid of a tornado, or a hurricane, an earthquake, getting run over by a car, getting into an accident. Could you let go of resisting it? And more. And more. Maybe you're resisting working too hard. Well, if you're resisting it, guess what? You're already working too hard. Because you're holding it in mind. So could you let go of resisting it? And more. And more. And more. and more. See if you're resisting working, period. Most people don't like working. Could you let go resisting it? And more. And more. And more. You think you have to work because you think you won't be able to feed yourself. And you won't be able to feed yourself. You think you'll die. So everything leads back to the fear of dying. The worst punishment you give mankind is put them in solitary confinement. You're afraid of being alone. So see if you're resisting being alone. You don't like to be with people, yet you don't want to be alone. You see the vice you put yourself in? See if you're resisting being alone. Could you let go of resisting? And more. And more. And more. See if you're resisting being with people you don't like. A, you lose, B, you lose. Could you let go of resisting that? You don't like being alone, you don't want to be with people, so what do you, your mind wins, gives you, more food, more hatred, more reasons to figure out what do you do. So could you let go of that, feelings? What are they, just feelings? See if you're resisting the IRS. Good reason not to make any money, so you don't have to pay taxes. Isn't that brilliant? So could you let go of resisting the IRS? And more? And more? IRS, I regret seeing them. IRS. See if you have a fear about it. Could you let go of that fear? And more. And more. See if you had your friendly accountant tell you got to be afraid. You got to be careful. Could you let go of that? And more. And more. See if you have a fear about making a mistake or losing. Could you let that go? And more. And more. And more. And more. And more. Why are you afraid of making a mistake? Because then you'll get into trouble, and you'll get into trouble, and you'll die. So everything leads back to dying. The fear of dying. So see if you're resisting dying. That's another feeling. Could you let go of resisting dying? By resisting it, you're holding it. The mind is creative, so if you're afraid of something, you're holding the mind dying. So if you can't let that go, so could you let go on and die? And more. And more. And more. For some people, living is dying. It's worse than dying. They want to get out of here. So see if you're resisting living. For some people, that's a death. Could you let go of resisting living? And more. and more, and more, and more. And see if you're resisting going free. To the ego, going free is dying. Doesn't even know what it is. You won't have to listen to it anymore. You'd have everything. You would no longer suffer. You'd have everything you want for an effortless thought. No effort. And yet we're resisting it. Because we think we're going to die. Examine it. See if it isn't true for you. See if you're afraid of going free. Check. Because you don't know what it is. And also check who is afraid. What is afraid? What is it? What is that voice that's playing in your head that says you better not do that? You can't do it. It's too far away from you. It's too ethereal. What is that thing? So see if you're afraid of dying. Could you let go, give yourself permission to die? Die from the suffering that's going on here. See if you're willing to let go of your mind. That'll throw you into fear. That'll throw you into resistance. So could you let go of resisting? It's just another feeling. It's your computer. They're showing you how to get in there and get the viruses out. You do have a virus. You have a number of viruses. You all know it. Stop making believe they're not there. And the biggest virus of all is the fear of dying. It's the biggest one. So see if you're ready to tackle it. See if you can move up to courageousness and get done with the suffering. See if you're willing to do that right now. Who's in charge, the computer or you? Yeah, sure, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but so what? It's been making you feel uncomfortable all your life. What's the thing that makes you uncomfortable? Beingness? No. That's your mind. Beingness doesn't make you feel comfortable. Uncomfortable, rather. It's your mind. All because you're afraid of dying. You're afraid of not thinking anymore. You're afraid of losing that wonderful body. You know, the thing that you have to fill up and empty out and watch and check and bathe it and polish it and cut it. Boy, it's a lot of work. 24 hours a day, it's got you thinking about this thing. Because you think that you only got one. You got to stay away from the other people. You got to keep it separate. There's liable to be a fire. There's liable to be a hurricane. All that wonderful. You're liable to get choked. You're liable to get run over. Somebody's liable to shoot you. All that wonderful stuff. So could you let go of resisting all that junk? That's what you're holding in mind if you have a fear about it. So could you let it go? And more. And more. See what decision you made about being done with all this crap. Listening to that so-called friend of yours. See if you made a decision about it, or you want to continue living with it. Cuddling up to something that tells you to beat yourself up, keeps you up all night long. Keeps you in fear. It's just a computer. It's your computer. You're the computer operator. You want to wipe it out, or you want to keep listening to it? Disturb you all the time. Put a sign up, do not disturb. So see what decision you made about freedom. About free of being a body and free of being a mind. See what decision you made. See if you have resistance. Could you let go of resisting? And more. and more, and more. See if you're ready to really jump. What you got to do is decide to jump, and the whole thing is dissolved. You jump into freedom. Are you ready to jump? Did you make a decision to jump? It'll take a minute. You're already free, so all you got to do is go there. Let go of the junk that you're not. Could you let go of the idea that you're not free? Could you allow that to evaporate and dissolve? And more. And could you let go of the picture that you're a body? Could you let that picture go? And more. And more. Give yourself a permission to dissolve. Could you surrender to dissolving? Could you surrender to disappearing? Give yourself permission to disappear. And more. You can get out of this daymare. That's what happens when you go to sleep at night. You disappear because your mind is quiet, very peaceful. If your mind is not running, so what's the thing that's keeping you awake at night? That's your mind. When you go into beingness, you sleep like a baby. It's quiet. It's very restful. Why not do it all day long? What's stopping you? Your friend, your mind. Tell it to take a walk. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now go away. I love you. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I love you. Whatever it says, you say, I love you. Whatever it's saying, I love you. I love you. It'll go away. I said, I want you to hate it. That's what keeps it alive. I love you. I love you. I love everybody. I love everybody. I love you. You just got victimized. I love you. You got to try to take advantage of me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You want to protect yourself with love. Don't protect yourself with fear. Don't protect yourself with resistance. You can't protect yourself with the fear of dying. You're holding in mind dying. If you're holding in mind dying and you're so afraid, you might as well die. You have nothing to lose, except you're suffering. So give yourself permission to die right now. And give yourself permission to die. And more. See if you're dying to be a millionaire. That's going to make you happy. You can't be happy till you're a millionaire. Who told you that? Your friend, your ego. So let's examine the tools that we use to protect ourselves so we can discriminate about it. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at apathy. You know, how does that help you? What do you use it for? What's your payoff? Apathy. You get to play dead. You get to play dead. You feel dead. And you think that people are going to leave you alone. So that's one tool we use. Does that work? Is that a good idea? And who's got that idea? Who's got that information in their computer? Okay? So let's take a look at grief. Anybody like when somebody's crying all the time? Do you like it? Oh, poor me. My body hurts me. I just lost a loved one. I just did this. What does that do for you? What do you use it for? You get people to be sorry for you? You get to be sad? Now, how does that help you? It's a tool. But what is it really doing for you? It makes you miserable. Anybody like hanging around somebody in grief all the time? You? So what do you want to hold on to it? When you hang around with it, it feels lousy when it's your feelings. So could you let go of your grief? Let go of acting that way. You're acting. Could you let it go? Bring it up in a half a second. You could take it out of your computer. It's a useless bit of information. Right now, could you just allow all your sadness and grief to dissolve? Allow it to evaporate and dissolve. You don't need that tool anymore. Okay, so see if you can, what do you use fear for? Does that protect you? Examine, really. Discriminate. How does fear protect you? Doesn't. Take a look at the things that happened in your life that you didn't like. The only reason it happened is you had a fear about it. That's all. You were worried about it. So you got to be right. Your mind doesn't give a damn. The fact that it even likes it. That's what keeps it surviving. It says, oh, you listen to me because I'm going to protect you. Some friend. So see if you can get rid of the fear. See if you can stop using it. See if you can decide to let it go. It's a very negative tool that does you in. So you're afraid of dying, and what are you holding in mind? Dying. You're afraid of getting sick, what are you holding in mind? Getting sick. Would you just let it go? And more. And more. So what do you use the lust for? How does it help you? Keeps you agitated. Keeps you wanting more and more and more. That's what lust is. It gives you the illusion it feels good, but it got you sucked right into wanting more. Because it's the biggest source of want of all of them. I gotta have it, I gotta have it. This one makes me happy. And the minute you have it, then you want another one. So you're like a dope addict, acting like a dope. And it's a blind spot. So could you let go of that lust that you've been holding on to for dear life? I can't wait to have this delicious steak. I can't wait to have this great sex. I can't wait to have all that money. See if you're lusting for it. All of that lust. It's like having a carrot in front of a donkey and you never get there. But you keep wanting it. That's your friend, your mind. Well, you can't get anything if you don't lust for it. Oh, really? Thank you, but I'm not having that anymore. I'm not going for the fact that that's what's going to make me happy, that thing, and I can't be happy unless I get it. And so it's always right out of just out of your way. You can't get it. Could you let go of that lusting for something? I can't be happy unless I have that thing. Gotta have that brand new Mercedes, that brand new this. I gotta have my perfect house. The house that I live in is not big enough. I gotta have a bigger one. I gotta make more money. The mate that I'm with is okay, but I gotta have a better one. I'm not going to let you alone. Could you let that lust go? And more. Check and see how many people are satisfied with their life right now. Check and see if you're satisfied. Your mind won't let you be satisfied. It doesn't even know what the hell satisfaction is. And it gets you to figure it out. Ask yourself if you know what satisfaction is. It doesn't know. It says, ask me and I'll tell you. And then it sends you all over the place. I'm not happy where I live. I'm not happy. I got to change this. I got to change that. I got to make more money. That's lust. It's the antithesis of satisfaction, is lust. So see if there's something you're lusting for. Could you let go of using that as some motivational tool? Could you just let it go? What if you could just decide to have it and be done, and that's it? What if it was easy? It was an effortless thought. You just had it. That's all you. Would that be okay with you? You're working too hard with all the other. Would it be okay with you if you just allow it? That's all you got to do is allow it. Allow it. Would that be okay with you? It wouldn't be okay with your mind because it wouldn't have anything to do. It wouldn't have anything to worry about. It wouldn't be able to bug you anymore. It'd be out of business. Put it out of business. So let's take a look at the anger. They won't give me what I want, I'll smite them. But I better be careful because they'll allow to smite me back. So does that work for you? You get angry at somebody? You scream and yell at them? What does that do for you? It gets them angry too. And then you got a battle. And you're doing it. So how does it help you to be angry? What does it do for you? How do you use it? You think it gives you control. It gets you out of control. So you punch the other person. Or you walk out on them. Or you tell them off. What does that do for you? Then you're sorry you did it. Or you're afraid they're liable to strike you back. Waste of time. You could live in your mind, fantasizing what you like to do to them, if you think that's satisfying. I really like to kill it. Well, why don't you do it then? They can't die. Why don't you do it? You're afraid of doing it. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You want to kill them, but you're afraid of killing them because they're allowed to kill you. And you go around and around and around, and it hangs you up forever. I'll get you. You're getting yourself. There's nobody else. There's nobody out there but you and your feelings. So if you have anger, you're just getting yourself. It's like you might as well throw acid in your body. That's what ulcers are about. You couldn't get ulcers if you didn't have all this ag flap. You couldn't have acid reflux. You could take the purple pill if you want. Then you have to worry about the side effects of that. Of course, a pill will protect you, so that's good. Reach for a pill, see if it helps you. Why do you do those things? You're afraid of dying. You're afraid of suffering. You're afraid of going out of control. So what are you doing? You're already out of control. So make yourself a dope and see if that works for you. Dope yourself up. Go to somebody who'll tell you what's wrong with you. You don't know what's wrong with you, they'll tell you. That makes you a dope. But the sad part about it is the mind is creative and you're liable to believe them. You have DDC, BBC, CDY. You have bad genes. Change your genes. Get a new pair of jeans. So see if you're using guilt for something. What does that do for you? You can use it against yourself or you can use it against somebody else. Well, what does it really in reality do for you? Does it feel good? Does it feel good to do it to yourself? Does it feel good to do it to somebody else? Discriminate. What are you using it for? To control yourself? To judge yourself? You judge yourself and then it goes on forever. So maybe you made a mistake, so big deal. You can't even forgive yourself. You got to keep being guilty. So what? It's something you did, you can always change it. You don't have to get stuck in it for 40 years that you're guilty, that you once did something. So what? Are you going to move on or are you going to stay in the past? Is God going to punish you if you're not guilty? You already gave yourself a big punishment. Enough is enough. You're punishing yourself because you judge yourself. Nobody else judges. It's your friend, your ego. Judge you to control yourself or to control somebody else. Great. I want to cuddle up with guilt. Let it go. It's up to you. It's within your power to let it go. You judge yourself and let it go. All right, what do you use courageousness for? It's the beginning of being positive. But in courageousness, you can smite the other person without a holdback. You can do that. Because the ag flap isn't holding you back. You can punch the other person, or you can let it go. Well, it's just a feeling. I'm free to punch him, I'm free not to punch him. I'm free to have that thing, I'm free not to have that thing. There's a lot more freedom in courageousness. You hang around in courageousness or you float around in the garbage. You decide. Nobody else decides. Yes, I can do it. I can do it. I can do anything. There's a lot of freedom in that. It's a far better tool. Of course, an acceptance is more powerful than courageousness. I love you. It's perfect. Everything is perfect. I accept anything and everything. In reality, why even knock your brains out seeing problems when there's no problems? And where are these problems? In your mind. Why don't you just love everything that's happening to you? Of course, your mind won't like it because it can't survive. Why don't you just love everything around you? Your body, the people around you, the pain in the necks, your mind. Why not love it? You got it anyway. So what are you bitching about it for? You created it. You're not satisfied. And you don't know what love is. Why don't you just accept it and stop knocking your brains out? Well, be careful. You're liable to have everything. Mind won't have anything to do. You can have anything you want for an effortless thought. Effortless thought, no effort. If you were loving everything and you saw everything as perfect, really perfect, your life would be easy. You'd be on easy street. That's what you really want. Don't you? Don't you want that? Can you allow yourself to be a millionaire? Would it be okay? If you want to be a millionaire, it's got to be okay if you're poor. Got to be okay with you don't have it. Can you love being poor? Is it okay to be poor? If it isn't okay, guess what? You got fear. And it's in your subconscious mind. Why do you want to be a millionaire? Because you think you can't have everything. So what's the motivation behind it? Our friend, the fear of dying. Right there. I don't want to work anymore. I want to do what I want to do. What's stopping you from doing what you want to do? Who's stopping you? Where's the I can'ts? All in your friend wanting approval, wanting control, wanting to be safe, wanting to be separate. And your friend, the biggest one, the most valued friend, the fear of dying. That's what you think is the most valuable, safest person to hang out with. The fear of dying. You hang out with him. You go to sleep with him, with her, every night. And that thing says, okay, when you go to sleep, I'll watch over you. Make sure there's no fires. Make sure you can breathe. Make sure you go to the bathroom. I'll wake you up if you're hungry. In fact, I'll make you hungry so you can stay up, beat yourself up, and then I can get some, and then I can feed myself. That's your friend, your mind. Or I don't want to go to the bathroom, and you keep it in, you'll be constipated. Now I like that. Now I can beat myself up. Then I can get you to go to the doctor and scare you. Then you can spend all night long wondering why I got constipated. Now I got your attention. You're finally going to pay attention to me, you dummy. I'm your friend. I'm the protector of you. Don't get rid of me. You're liable to die. I'm liable to die. It's more like it. So what did you decide? What have you decided about freedom? We've been digging around and looking, and I'm helping you discriminate. You have to discriminate. It's one thing for me to do it. It's another thing for you to know it. So what have you decided? What are you going to do? Of course, it's better to eat a muffin than a release. Go get a cup of coffee. That'll help you. Stop picking on your bones. Look for some blackheads or something to pick on, you know? That'll get you free. So are you? Are you? Are you? Are you? So look at all the things we explored. We did the Evelyn Wood School of Misery. And now that we see it, what did you decide? We crammed all your things into a few minutes. Maybe I didn't cover everything. I tried to. And I'm sure you can come up with more misery on your own. So what do you decide? It's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. You can continue to cuddle up with that wonderful thing called the mind that makes you into a robot, an automaton, where you can decide to be free and do what you want to do, when you want to do it. So see if you have any resistance left. See if you have any resistance. Could you let go of that? Would you let go of resisting? And more? and more, and more, and even more, and more. Are you? Instead of saying no to all those things that we looked at, could you just say yes? Say yes. Say yes to resistance. I love you, resistance. The fear of dying, I love you. I love you. I love you. I really love you. I love you. Say yes to your fear. I love you. I love you. Say yes to your apathy. It's not real. I love you. Come on up. Anytime you want, come up so I could see you. I see you. Bring it up. I love you. Yes. Say yes to your grief. Say yes to it. Yes. Welcome it. Yes. It wants to leave. Ask it. It'll tell you it wants to leave. See if you got any grief left. Ask it if it wants to leave. Go ahead, ask it. Let it leave, for God's sakes. Let it leave. It wants to leave. Welcome up all your fear. Say yes to your fear. I love you, fear. I love you. Come on up. I love you. Let me have it. Let's have all of it. I love you. What are you afraid of something that's not even real? Say yes to your anger. All of it. Of course, we forgot pride, and I did that intentionally. We forgot to look at pride. Pride's a good way to keep you separate, keep you nice and safe. You know, you can reject all these people, put them down, act like you're better than them, all the time knowing you're not. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to do pride, would you? So could you love all your pride? Let it come up. I love it. I love you. I am you. You are me. We are one. Invite it up. Say yes. Yes. Say yes to your lust. Say yes. Let it come up. Yes. Yes. Could you say yes to courageousness? That's a lot easier to say yes to, isn't it? Well, say yes to all of them so they can come up and go. Say yes to courageousness. Even easier is to say yes to acceptance. Say yes, yes. I love everybody, even all my feelings, all my body, everybody. I love everybody. Give yourself permission to love everybody in the room right now. Could you just love everybody in the room? Just make a decision to love everybody in this room. And let that love spill all over you. Take a bath in it. Just love it. And let it expand. Let that love expand. All over the room. All over everybody. You have enough love in the whole universe right inside you. Could you just let it come out? Say yes to it. Yes. I love everything. See if you can let it expand to this retreat, all the people that are here. Just love it. Anything, even the bugs. I love you. Even the bees, I love you. The trees, I love you. Everything. Could you just love it? It's in you. Open yourself up and say yes to love. And see if you can allow it to expand all over the United States. Could you just let it expand? It's in you. Could you allow yourself to love everybody here? The Democrats, the Republicans, all these guys mouthing off, could you love them all? Just love them. It's your picture. Love it. You created it. Why not create a picture of love? Could you love everything you don't like in your life? Everything. Could you just love it? Love it. Say yes to love. Yes. Say yes. Try it. You'll like it. You try the other stuff, it doesn't work. It feels lousy. Just say love. I love you. Yes. Yes. And now as you're up in a high place, invite some of the deepest garbage up. You see, up there. You can drop the garbage, the deepest garbage. So take a check and see one of the things you're still not loving. One of the emotions you're still not loving. Apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, pride. Courageous acceptance, peace, wanting approval, wanting control, wanting to be safe, wanting to be separate, the fear of dying. See which ones you don't like, that you're not loving. If they all want to come up and out, let them go. Let it come up. Say yes. Yes to it. You can allow your eyes to open up and let it go. I invite you to continue to say yes to all your feelings. That's what we're doing. By looking at him, you see him, you make yourself conscious of him, you let him go. Don't push him down, don't sidestep it.